Launched a decade ago, Basug is a diaspora organisation of Bangladeshi origin. The initiators were perhaps unaware in the beginning that the organisation would one day turn into an efficient and professional institution. The organisation has now been active not only in the Netherlands, but also left its mark in Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, and in 4 other European countries as well. In addition to its office in the Netherlands, Basug now has 2 separate registered offices in Bangladesh and Germany. 2 active chapters also exist in Italy and in the United Kingdom.
Basug is a quite unique organization. I think it's a unique organization for at least 4 reasons. I think that the very first reason is that it is an organization, one of the few organizations that work in home and host country of migrants at the same time. Most other organizations either work on one side or on the other. So I find that very, very remarkable. And the second aspect, which I find very intriguing and very laudable, is that Basug works at all levels of social organization. So Basug has, on the one hand, excellent relations with grassroots organizations, but Basug has also excellent relations with the top level of society, with government ministers, with civil servants, with the governor of the central bank. So it can bring these 2 together, and that also is something quite unique. I think that another area which I find extraordinary is the very broad spectrum of activities. So Basug deals on the one hand with issues of climate change, and on the other hand with the issue of the working conditions in the textile industry. So it's a very broad spectrum of topics, and it testifies to the flexibility of Basug to take up urgent issues, problems, and to deal with them in a very professional way. And that is what also impresses me so much, that this is done with a very small number of people who actually work, in my opinion, for at least 25 hours every day in order to do that.
The development activities of Basug started with the objective of improving conditions for poor women and children. At the outset, the organization offered free, non-formal education to poor children, set up a sewing training center for poor women and girls, provided free medical services, and introduced microcredit projects. Through the efficiency, skills, and prudence of Basug leadership, as well as the right selection of partner organizations in Bangladesh and Sri Lanka, all Basug development activities were implemented with noted success.
The main impression that I got was Basug as a diaspora organizations have been doing extensive networking, not only within the Netherlands, but beyond in some other European countries. And it is an excellent initiative. And I see that particularly at a time when there is anti-immigration and anti-immigrant mood in Europe, I believe organizations, diaspora organizations can do a lot, and Basug is doing to project that the migrants are important contributor to the host country's economy. And this networking also with other stakeholders have really brought Basug to the limelight, I should say. Let me first talk about the weakness, and I will end with the positive thing. The weakness is not really weakness as such, but I think Basug would need to expand its outreach also in Bangladesh. I know they are doing some very good work, but it has to be known, and also expand it right here in Europe. Beyond what they are doing now. They're doing in the Netherlands and also in Belgium and Germany, but in other countries where there are Bangladeshi diaspora, because it's very important to integrate. And next year, we would be hosting the 9th Global Forum on Migration and Development in Bangladesh. So Basug can be associated with that and see how, from the point of view of the diaspora, the contribution to such forums can be made. And always the focus, as I felt, is very important. Empowerment of the migrants, empowerment of the women, remittance, microfinance, Basug has been working on.
As time passed, the working areas of Basug gradually expanded. After working on remittance and financial literacy programs, it also initiated a research-oriented project, Remittances for Community Development. This project was set up in 2010 in conjunction with the Network University of Amsterdam and the Dutch development organization, Oxfam Novib.
I have seen Basug in work while my tenure was in Netherlands, and I have found it very active also while I came to Germany. It's an amazing organization which I have found to have worked both simultaneously in Bangladesh and also in Europe. Also, there is another aspect of Basug which intrigued me is its vertical spread in addition to the horizontal spread between the countries. It has found its niche in working both with the government and also the NGOs, the grassroots organizations, and also the organizations which have international reach. It has worked with people in different stratum of the society. So these are all points to a maturity of an organization. A couple of strengths I have already mentioned. The others include its ability to project itself into the media and show its relevance, how its work can be useful for the migrants community who are living, the diaspora who are living in Europe, and as well as how its work can be useful for people in Bangladesh. It has been a very flexible organization which has shown dexterity in picking up the contemporary issues. For example, when there is a mishap in Bangladesh, a garments factory 2 years ago, it is immediately focused on working and to dispel the misperception that might have been in different countries. Basug focuses on diaspora and development, and much of its work is in development. In the country, it can work more intensively with the government for investment of the high flow of remittances that is going from different countries to Bangladesh. Basug can join its efforts with the government to expand the opportunities of investment of those who are sending remittances. But also in foreign countries, for example in Europe, there are some anti-migration, anti-immigrant sentiments growing in different pockets of the society. Some organizations are definitely working here to dispel this notion. Basug can join its hand to assist those organizations in increasing its resourcefulness to dispel such misperception from the society.
Today, Basug is recognized as a successful and active diaspora organization, not only in the Netherlands, but also at the European and international level, especially in the field of migration and development. Its network has been equally expanded. It has developed its working relationship inter alia with Dutch development organization Oxfam Novib, the Dutch Foreign Ministry, ECO, CordAid, Sever Network Foundation, ECUN Joint Initiative on Migration and Development, NVU, Wilde Ganzen in the Netherlands and Belgium, and with the CIM, GIZ, ILD, SUE in Germany, and with SEEDS in Sri Lanka.
Well, let me start with congratulating Basug with its 10 years existence. In these 10 years, more or less coincide with the 10 years that I've been working with migrant organizations in the Netherlands, and I've seen quite a number of them coming and going as well, and I think it is already an achievement in itself that Basug is reaching its 10th anniversary, so congratulated with that. I think our involvement with Basug goes back almost 10 years. From the very beginning we have been collaborating. but the way in which we have collaborated has changed considerably. When we started with Basug, they were what we called a small organization which was entitled to receiving a small grant for a project. Now 10 years down the line, we are actually together involved in a large funding application with IFAD, and both Oxfam Novib and Basug, together with some organizations, are going to play an important role in that project once it is being approved. And I must say that in the 10 years between the first subsidy and the joint application that we have done with IFAD, many things have changed. And I think that one of the strong points for Basug is that it has over time increasingly focused itself on remittances, the role that the remittances can play in development in the home country. In the collaboration that we are having with IFAD, Basug is already looking at ways to make remittances also a way of investing in employment opportunities, investing in community development in Bangladesh, in addition to the extra support that it gives at the household level. And I wish the organization all the best of luck, at least for the coming 10 years and hopefully for a long period afterwards as well.
Basug plans to upgrade its research project on remittance in collaboration with the Rome-based international organisation IFAD, as well as Oxfam Novib. Basug's cooperation with IFAD is very solid. At the World Remittance Forum of IFAD and the World Bank in Milan in June 2015, Basug organised a very successful knowledge-sharing discussion titled Diaspora Investment in Rural Development, Bangladesh and Global Experience. In 2013, the organisation also took active part in the World Remittance Forum of IFAD and the World Bank in Bangkok.
Well, the role of the diaspora, we have recognized at IFAD, the crucial importance that they have. Diaspora organizations, as they come, basically on pushing forward really the needs that we see, particularly in rural areas. This is something that we've been following very, very closely. Bangladesh is a key example of what diaspora organizations or groups can do. Organizations of the diaspora, such as Basug, I think are critical in bringing forward the new ideas, but particularly the realities on how to address development issues that are so important for IFAD. One weak link might be is how to link this with government initiatives or private sector opportunities. And there's a common ground right now for the civil society, the private sector and governments to come together and understand how these same priorities can be linked, but most importantly, ways of working together. So we've been following at IFAD this very closely. We have seen the very good work that Basug has been doing, and we're looking forward in helping, supporting the initiatives that can be done in this regard.
With Basug, but I found that this NGO is very interesting because they are working on the key aspects of the development, the migrants, diaspora and remittances. Basug, you know, as I have understood, start to sensitize the migrants in order for them to go from the informal to the formal channel for the remittances. And now they are advocating with the migrant community for this community to invest in the country. The country needs investors, the rural area in particular. Basug had a key role to play to be a facilitator in between the migrants and the diaspora and the organization of the migrants, and in between the country, more particularly the rural area. The money is there, the opportunities are there, the major problem is the trust. And Basug can be the bridge in between these two communities, ensuring a good flow of communication and facilitating investment in this rural area.
Basug has also marked its presence and activities with pride and self-esteem in Bangladesh. It has worked on addressing critical issues including, but not limited to, violence against women and remittance and women empowerment. Additionally, Basug has implemented projects on women empowerment, violence against women, and microcredit programs in Hobbyganj, Dhaka, Chittagong, and Laksam. Some of these projects are still on.
Basug is an organization which I knew for quite some time, and they have been doing great job in the area of remittance and development. Although based in the Netherlands, but they do work for improving the images of Bangladeshis, diaspora Bangladeshis, and also now they have expanded their operation. They are working in some of the European countries and also working in some of the Asian countries. Of late, they have included Sri Lanka and UK in their fold. So they are a really, I would say, multi stakeholder organization now. They really walk on two legs. When I say they walk on two legs, they know European countries, they know the the problems of the diaspora people living in that environment, but also they work in countries like Bangladesh or Sri Lanka, where they bring in a lot of good experiences of the European countries and then try to replicate in countries like Bangladesh. But at the same time, they take back some of the experimentations from Bangladesh and all Sri Lanka, and then and try to change the environment in Europe. So I thought this is a very win-win kind of approach they have taken, and that's how they are improving the image of Bangladesh. Bangladesh Bank has been promoting remittances a lot, and how to use in the remittance for developmental activities is one of our major tasks, and Basug has been our partner in that sense. Basug has been not only providing their advices to our policies, but also they have been partner in organizing many of the international seminars and also in the local workshops. I have seen Basug working with NGOs here, non-government organizations here, to improve the social development status of the people. Particularly, the focus on women empowerment is very well taken. In fact, many of their activities, particularly helping the microfinance organizations or working with the microfinance organization, is also praiseworthy. And I thought Bangladesh Bank can even work better, because we are now preparing a database for the NRBs, and Basug can really help us develop that NRBs. So Basug and Bangladesh Bank will work together to project these heroes, in all their activities, and Basug can really, establish that connection. And I really wish Basug all the, success in terms of, establishing this connectivity. I think the connectivity is the key word, and Basug and Bangladesh Bank and the government of Bangladesh together can do a lot.
Going beyond the geographical borders of the Netherlands, Basug has also worked in Sri Lanka on remittance issues. It has also worked with Sri Lankan migrants and their families living in 4 European countries, including the Netherlands.
I think I should begin with the greetings to all the audience and also expressing my happiness to be a part of this kind of great initiative. So let me begin by first thanking Basug and all its executives and members. I should also, I think, make it a point that we have been working with Basug off and on for quite some time through the good hands of our friends, Mr. Bikas Chaudhary, and through him we came to know Basug here in the Netherlands. And when I first came to know that we have an organization like Basug who is working for our migrants, I think it was kind of a very auspicious news for me, because I'm representing my people in this foreign country, and I have an organization who is also working for the same cause So we are working partners from the day one. So in that, I think I should compliment Basug that they are kind of complementing our works because we are working at the end of the day for the same cause. I think as a nation, we have been able to make the best use of it till today. And we know that over the years we achieved quite a lot. In terms of remittance, it's always billions, and now as we speak, I think we crossed 15 billions. But do we ever take a pause and came to realize that what would have been our life if this 15 or 16 billion dollar was not there? Did we really, I think, reciprocated enough to those hardworking people who were sending their hard-earned money in terms of their kind of a trust fund, in kind of benefit funds, in kind of investment opportunities for them? I think as a Bangladeshi, I'm also a remittance kind of a sending persons. I'll be happy to participate in anything. Say, for example, one speed train between Dhaka and Chittagong. If I am given the option, I will be happy to be a part of it. I think like me and all NRBs who are living there overseas, they will be happy to take part in these things. And the most important thing, I think the most important resource that we have in our NRBs, we are not making that resource, I think using that resource to the extent we should.
Basug has moved from one area to another. It made inroads into the textile sector of Bangladesh at a time when the industry, on which the country's economy heavily depends, faced serious challenges following several mishaps. One such event was a tragedy involving a fire and the collapse of a building, causing the death of over 1,000 workers. Basug Germany is now working on safety and health compliance issues of garment workers in Bangladesh and has been lobbying with buyers, importers and policymakers in Europe with support from German development organization GIZ-CIM. In 2015, Basug Germany organized separate advocacy workshops on this issue in cities such as Hamburg, Berlin, Dhaka and Chittagong.
I got to know Basug in 2013, and since then I have followed the organization's activities on diaspora and development very closely. Concerning the strength of Basug as a diaspora organization, this is a lot easier for me to answer. Basug, first of all, is working really professionally, on a high professional level, and it's always a really constructive way of cooperating. On the other side, what is really special about Basug is that they have their chapters in a lot of different countries. So there are different views coming in, which is really important. And they are both involved on the one side in the dialogue and the discussions on a global level on diaspora and development, but on the other side they also implement projects on the ground. They've shared their experience, for example, with Nepali organizations here in Germany, who have just started to work on issues related to their countries of origin, and they can learn a lot of Basug's experience.
Basug also came forward to work with Nepalese migrants in Germany, sharing its experience working with the Bangladeshi diaspora in 2012.
I met Basug as a diaspora organization on various occasions. Unfortunately, not as much as I would have liked it to be. And one such example is a meeting we had with Basug, a number of diaspora organizations and civil society organizations, including the Ministry of Security and Justice, on how to bring the conclusions from the GFMD into practice in the Netherlands and in developing countries. And I think Basug can play a very important role in the GFMD process, the Global Forum on Migration and Development, especially in the next GFMD, which will be hosted and chaired by Bangladesh. As an organization having close links with the Netherlands and with Bangladesh, and working closely with Bangladeshi diaspora on migration and development. Basug can play a very important role in also informing the GFMD agenda. And also very important, it can play a role in the coordination and dialogue between the Netherlands and Bangladesh on the GFMD topic. A suggestion would be to preserve the good partnerships that Basug already has with organizations, diaspora organizations, and with international organizations as UNDP and GIZ. I understood from GIZ that they are very satisfied about the relation they have with you.
Basug has always been active in lobbying at European levels, both at the European Parliament and European Commission in Brussels and London. It has held separate meetings with members of European, British and Dutch parliaments. Talks have also been held with the British House of Lords on issues such as democracy, fair polls, human rights and minority issues in Bangladesh.
What I like about Basug is that it focuses first of all on the role of the diaspora in the development back home in Bangladesh, which is an important agenda also for a development organization like Coordate. We have been active in Bangladesh for many years in areas like education and health, but also in areas of food security and entrepreneurship. And we've identified the diaspora, the Bangladesh diaspora, as a key actor in the development work and also in the collaboration with Coordate in its development activities in Bangladesh. At this moment, the international community is negotiating an agenda for 15 years on sustainable development goals. And we hope very much that Coordate and Basug and other organizations collectively help to implement that agenda, which is important for migrants all over the world in countries of destination, but also in countries of origin and countries of transit. We've been working over the past years with Basug to our great joy and satisfaction in those agendas on poverty reduction, access to health and education. And we hope to continue to do that in the coming years, reaching to the attainment of the Sustainable Development Goals. And we would like to build on our successful collaboration with Basug to do that in the coming years, holding our Dutch government and Bangladesh government accountable for very much reaching those important Sustainable Development Goals over the coming 15 years.
Being a diaspora organization, Basug has been active in the area of migration and development since its inception. It raises its voice loud and clear when the migrants are in crisis in the Gulf, the Mediterranean, the Indian Ocean, Bangladesh, and elsewhere. Basug has been active in migration issues at international forums, including the Global Forum on Migration and Development since 2007.
আমি বিগত 2 বছর যাবত এই খামার পোল্ট্রি খামার নিয়ে আছি। এর আগে 3-4 বছর আগে আমার ফিশারি ছিল। এর আগে আমি একটা জব করতাম এনজিওর মধ্যে। এই কাজ ছাড়ার পর থেকে আমি প্রথম ফিশারির সময় আমি লোন নিলাম প্রথম বাসুক থেকে, ইন্ডিয়াবারের বাসুক থেকে। নেওয়ার পরে এই প্রথম ব্যবস্থায় কম নিছিলাম। নেওয়ার পরে তারপরে ধীরে ধীরে ফিশারির থেকে আমার মুরগির পোল্ট্রি করলাম। ফিশারিও আছে, পাশাপাশি মুরগির খামার করলাম। মুরগির খামার পরে এই লাভবান হওয়ার পরে প্রথম ছিল একটা খামার, 1000 মুরগ ছিল। বর্তমানে আমার খামার 2টা। একটা খামার হলো সোনাঘাট নতুন বাজার, একটা খামার বর্তমানে সোনাঘাট দেওয়ার গাছ। এই 2টা খামারে বর্তমানে 2000 মুরগ আছে, বিশেষ করে ইন্ডিয়াবার বাসুকের সহযোগিতায়।
আমরা ইন্ডিয়াবার অফিসে বাসুক নেদারল্যান্ড থেকে কিস্তি আনেছি। প্রথম আনেছিলাম 10,000, দ্বিতীয়বার আনেছিলাম 20,000, তার দ্বিতীয়বার আনেছিলাম 25,000। 25 থেকে 30-এ উঠলাম। আনে করে আমরা গাভী গরু কিনলাম, তারপরে ছেলে মেয়েকে লেখাপড়া শিখাইলাম। শিখার পরে গাভী নিলাম, জমি নিলাম, কৃষি ফসল করলাম। কৃষি ফসল করে বেচা বিক্রি করি। আমরা বাগানে স্বামী স্ত্রী কাজ করি, চারা বাগানে। কাজ করি তাই দিয়ে কিছু সমস্যাও দেখা দেয় তাই দোকানপাট নিয়ে ব্যস্ততায় থাকি কিস্তি কখনো সমস্যা দেই না তবু আমরা কষ্ট ভোগ করে কিস্তি চালাই
Basug has enjoyed many success stories over the last 10 years. It has gained experience, become increasingly professional, and earned appreciation. It has, furthermore, built up its image, trust, and confidence in the eyes of its partner organizations, donors, well-wishers, and supporters. But there is no reason to be self-complacent. Basug has still a long way to go. While we don't say we are the best, we do say that we do our best. Finally, we believe in our slogan, "Together we can make this world a better place to live." Let us all join together to make this world a better place to live in for everyone.